Hi everyone, my name is Gift and I'm here to show you how to solve for the algebraic expression. You know that in my last video I discussed about the expansion in algebraic terms. So the expansion in algebraic terms is different from this algebraic expression, but though the solving is slightly the same, but they are different in terms of equation. So when we talk about the algebraic expression is explaining that we have both the numbers and the letters, both variable and constant attached to each other. So if we have variable and constant attached to each other, that is known as the algebraic expression or an algebraic terms. So if they give us such a number and they are asking us to solve for it, the thing we need to do is that we collect like terms and then we are solving for always the variable, not the constant. So it's always variable we are solving for, which is the letter. You are looking for a particular letter, either A, either X, either B, or you are looking for. So now I will be giving you the simplest example, and then if I give you the simplest example, I will give you the complex one so that you will really understand what I'm talking about. Now, this is the example one. This example is a kind of a cinch example, that's the simplest example. So if we're having a plus, this is a, not 9. If we're having a plus 12 equal to 7, how are we going to do it? Now remember that we are looking for what? We are looking for the variable here, which is the a. So what to do is that we'll make a the subject of formula. If we want to make a the subject of formula, we'll separate a from the what? From the constant. Separate the variable from the constant. Here in this variable, we are just having what? Only a. And then the constant here, we are having 12 and 7. So 12 and 7, they are constant because they are numbers. And then here we are not having what? Only one letter. So what we need to do is that we separate this letter from what? From this constant. So in order for us to do that, we'll bring down our a first of all, equal to. Now the reason of me putting this equal to sign here is because the equal to now is separating the letter from the what? From the constant. It's separating the variable from the constant. That's why I use equal to after putting the a here. Assuming we have other variables here, we'll just bring all the variables and then put equal to the constant. But our variable here will just have it just only what? Only a. So we'll bring down only a equal to. Then after equal to sign, what are you seeing here? You are seeing what? 7. So you bring your 7 down. And then the next one here is what? Is 12. Now, remember, this is not just 12. This is plus 12. If this plus 12 now is crossing over to come and make this 7, it will change to what? To minus. Any positive sign that is crossing over to an equal to sign, it will change to what? To minus. When it's negative, when it's minus, when it's crossing over to an equal to sign, it will change to what? Plus. So here now we are having plus 12 now. This plus 12 now is crossing over to an equal to sign. It will change to what? Minus 12. So let's put minus 12. And then let's continue. So our answer here will be a equal to. Now we have 7 minus 12. Now if you remember my other video, which I discussed about the basic operation, I talked about the minus, that if you're having minus sign here and then you're having 7 here, always remember that that minus sign is the one you are owing, and then this 7 you are having here is just the one you are having. So this one now is the one we are owing, which is minus 12, and then this 7 is the one we have. If we pay off, how much will be left for us? If you pay off the 7, how much will be left for us? So let's try that. Just minus 12 from 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how many is remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are having 5. Remember, because of that minus, this one now is what? Minus 12, and is 7 we are having here. This 7 now is the one we are having, and then this minus 12 is the one you are owing somebody. So if you pay off, that means you are still owing the person what? 5 naira. This 5 naira is still owing the person now. It's not just 5 you put minus 5. Minus 5 indicates that you are still owing the person. So this is your answer. It's very simple. A equal to what? Minus 5. So now let's take more of the examples to learn the algebraic expression more better. Now, if we have something like this, this is 3 plus 7 equal to x plus 3. Now, we have a variable here, and all these ones are what? Are constant. So we need to separate the variable from the what? From the constant. So what are we going to do? First of all, the constant is adding. This one is 3 plus 7. Just add it, and then you get your answer. 3 plus 7 will give us what? Will give us 10. So 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 plus 7 is giving us 10. We put 10 here. And then equal to this x plus 3. Now, if we have something like this now, we have simplified this a little bit. So what we need to do next is that we'll collect like terms. Like now, we'll collect like terms by making s here the subject of formula. If we want to make s the subject of formula, now we'll separate s. We'll separate the variables from the what? From the constant. So I will separate this x from all these numbers here. Now for me to do that, this x now is coming to this side. It's coming to the left hand side. And there is an equals to sign here. So it will now change to this sign now. We don't have any sign here in this x. So this is, we assume that this is what? Positive x. This is plus x. So when it's crossing over now, it will change to what? To minus x. Minus s equal to. Now after this equal to sign, you are seeing what? Just plus 3. Plus 3 and 3 is still the same thing. Just bring it down your 3. And then this one now is 10. When this 10 is crossing over to an equal to sign, because this 10 here, there is nothing here. When the 10 is crossing over, it will change to what? To minus 10. Now, I told you that if you have a number, and then you're just having a number like this, and you're having an equal to sign here. Now, in order for this number to cross over, there is no sign here. They're not giving you any sign here. Assume that this 10 is what? Is positive. So when this 10 is crossing over now, it will change to what? To negative. But if you have a negative sign here, and then the minus 10 is crossing over, yes, of course, it will now change to what? To plus 10. But if you don't have any sign here, that means they did not indicate any sign here for this 10. What you need to do is that assume that this 10 now is what? Is positive. So that when it's crossing over, it will change to what? Negative. That's just the simplest mathematics. So now let's continue. Since we have minus s equals to 3 minus 10. So now what do we need to do now? We just, let's substitute. Bring down your minus x equal to, and then the one constant, we do what? We substitute for each other. So now we are having what? We are having 3 here and minus 10, sorry. So it's now 3 minus 10. Now, if you are having 3 naira here, and then you are owing what? You are owing 10 naira now. How much will be left for you? Is 7 naira. So 7 naira is left for us. So that is what? Is minus 7. Like I said, if you don't understand how we got this, you just need to minus 10 from 3. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You are saying that 7 here is remaining. So I told you that if you don't have any sign here, assume that this is positive. So this 3 here now is positive, is the money we have. And then this minus 10 is the one we are owing somebody. So it's just 7 naira. But because of you are still owing that person, that's why I'm using what? That's why I'm putting what? This minus 7. So our answer here is what? Is minus 7. So we are not done with this. We are having minus s equal to what? Minus 7. It's not proper. You are supposed to have only what? You are supposed to get only what? Only s equal to a number. Not minus x equal to minus 7. So this kind of equation is not proper. Let's try to remove this minus here from this variable, so that it will now be only a variable equal to a number. So now let's do it. If you want to remove this minus sign in this variable here, since the variable does not have any coefficient here, so what we need to do is that we just add what? We will just add 1 to it. Add 1 to it, and then divide both sides by the minus 1 they are saying here now, by the coefficient of x, which is minus 1, or by the one x is carrying, which is minus 1. So I will divide both sides by minus 1. So this is how the thing will look like. Now, If minus 1 cancel minus 1, we are left with what? Just x. Now we have succeeded in getting just only x. So we are left with x equal to. Now this is 7 divided by 1. It's giving us what? Just 7. Because when we have minus divided by minus is plus. Minus divided minus is plus. So 7 divided by 1 is still giving us what? 7. So our answer here is 7. So x equal to what? To 7. Now let's take more of the complex numbers. So example 3. Now, assuming we have this, we have 24 times 2 equal to 2y. Now, if we have something like this now, it's still the same thing. This one now is just what the coefficient. This is a coefficient, which is 2y there now. So let's separate the one without, that is not having what this y here now. We separate the numbers from this one that is having what just y. This one are just what constant, and then this one is what a coefficient. So let's try to separate them so that we'll get our answer. Now, if we do 24 times 2, 24 times 2 will give us 48. If you don't know how to times, use 100 tensor units and then times it. Now let me show you how. Now if we have 24 times 2, 2 times 4 will give us what? Will give us 8, and then 2 times 2 will give us what? 4. So we are having what? 48. So we'll put 48 here, equal to 2y. Now since we are having 2y here and you are having 48 here, remember this y here, now we are looking for y here. So this y here is having a coefficient which is 2 here. So we divide both sides by what? By the coefficient of y, which is 2 here, so that we can get only y alone. Let's divide both sides by what? By 2, so that we can get y alone. Now divide both sides by this 2 here. Divide both sides by 2. Now if you notice, if we divide both sides by 2, now you see that this 2 will cancel this 2. Then it's only y we are getting here. So we'll bring down our y equal to 48 divided by 2. Now 48 divided by 2 will give us what? Will give us 24. Will still give us the same 24. If you don't know how to divide it, I told you that if you want to use the simplest, you just use 2 divided by 8. 2 divided by 8 here will give us what? Will give us 4. And then 2 divided by 4 here will give us 2. So our y here is equal to what? 24. That's our answer. So that is it. Now let's take the last example. Now, if we have something like this is example 4. If they said 5 plus 8 equal to 2 times b. Now, there is something I want to tell you. If you are having a positive sign here, because sometimes we'll be having a number, a constant, adding a variable. Now, if you are having a constant adding a variable, that means if you are having something like 2 plus a. Now, if you have 2 plus a, it should not give us 2a. We are not adding it. What we need to do is that we just separate them. But if you are having 2 minus a, it's still the same thing. We'll separate them because this one now cross over, will change to plus. This one is crossing over, will change to what? To minus. But if you are having times, 2 times a, 2 times a, yes, it can times each other. It will now give us what? 2a. Are you seeing it? So that's the difference. When you're having a positive sign, you don't add it, just cross over. Then when you're having a negative sign, don't minus, just also the same thing, cross over. It will just change. The sign will change. But if you're having a times, if you're having constant now that is timesing what? A variable, just times it and then you get your answer, which is that number, that constant, and that variable. So that's what we are doing here now. Now, first of all, let's add this. 5 plus 8 will give us what? This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we are having what? We are having 13 here, equal to 2 times b will give us what? 2b. So we are having 2b. 13 equal to what? 2b. So now let's continue. Now, what we need to do here is that we divide both sides by the coefficient of b here, which is what? Which is 2. By the one b is carrying is 2 here. So we divide both sides by 2. Now, if we divide both sides by 2 now, we'll get what? Only b. 2, we cancel this 2. We are left with what? b equal to 13 over 2. So now, since we cannot reduce this into the lowest term, remember, 2 can go into itself, but 2 cannot go into 13. So since we cannot reduce this into the lowest term, we drop our answer like this. This is our answer. Yes, this is your answer. Or you can as well change it to a mixed fraction. But if possible, don't do that. Just try to reduce it to the lowest term. If you think cannot be able to reduce, you drop your answer like this. Now let's take example 5. Sorry, because I was saying that this is the last example, but no. Let's take more of the example so I'll understand the algebraic expression more better. Now, this example also is one of the cinch example, like one of the simplest example also. So if we're having 2 times y, 2 times y now, like I said, is only when you're having a positive sign or a negative sign. That's when you can cross over. But if you have times here, make sure you times the constant and the variable. That's the procedure, that's the law, that's the step on you for you to solve the algebraic expression. So now 2 times y will give us what? Will give us 2y equal to 12. Now what we need to do is that we'll divide both sides by the coefficient of y here, which is 2. The one y is carrying is 2 here. So we'll divide both sides by 2 so that we'll get only y. Divide both sides by 2. 2 will cancel 2. We are left with y equal to what? 12 over 2. So 12 divided by 2 will give us what? Will just give us 6. So y now is equal to 6. So this is our answer. So now, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel by pressing the link below. Thank you very much.